Hey family, coming with this quick word, this quick message. Ooh, yeah. I was just driving. I was in the car, I was driving, and God dropped this message in my spirit, told me to get on camera and bring this. Y'all, God is so good. God is so good. I was driving and I was listening to this song. This song is old, very old school. This is a very, very old song. I grew up to this song. My mom used to play this song all the time in my household. But it's He Meant It For My Good by Dottie's Peoples. Ooh, that's how you know it's old school, because we ain't heard nothing from Dottie's in a long time. But anyways, I was listening to that. God dropped that song in my spirit, and I was listening to it, and man, I was just crying. It was just ministering to me. It was just everything I needed, and my reminder to know that, like, everything that the devil meant for bad. And you know, in the song, she's like going over like her life, like these things that she's faced, these certain things that she went through. But in the song, she said, I know no defeat. I don't know any defeat. I don't know defeat, because at the end of the day, whatever the devil meant for my bad, he meant it for my bad. He did. All these things, certain things that I've gone through in my life, he meant it for my bad. But God, you meant it for my good. You meant it for my good. And that's what I'm here to encourage you, to remind you that when you really look over your life, like really look over your life, really just sit back and think about all the way, even like the mistakes that you have made, even when you've done certain things in your life, when you've gone through a certain path that you knew you probably should have never went down that path. You knew that was something that you shouldn't have been doing. You knew better. Even in our mistakes. And see, a lot of us, we will feel so guilty. We will feel so guilty about the mistakes that we made in life, or, oh, if I could just go back, or, oh, if I never did that. But let me explain something to you. It does not matter the mistakes. It does not matter. Sometimes when we do certain things, like our mistakes, it will put us in certain positions. It will set us up for the devil to defeat us and to do these things behind the scene. But it literally does not matter. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. That's what God is saying. Nothing is wasted. He is able to do something with everything. No matter what you have gone through in your life, no matter what path, wrong turn, wrong path that you've went down, it does not matter the detour. It does not matter the stop, the hazards, the traffic. It does not matter. God always has a way of bringing us back to the right path. He always has a way of setting us up to reach our destination. No matter what different ways we have to go, we have to get there. No matter if we get twisted and turned and turned around and upside down, it does not matter. God is always going to bring us to our destination. And I just want to encourage you. These things that you have gone through in your life, like, it is for your good. It does not seem like it. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't always seem like that it's for my good. It doesn't always feel like it's for my good, but it is. It is always working out in your favor. God is always working. He can do something with anything. This is why you should never be ashamed. Never be ashamed. Let me explain something to you. I learned this from somebody. This has helped me in my life. What you have to understand, and this is like, especially if you are chosen, especially if you know, like, that your name holds weight, especially if you know that you have greatness on the inside of you. You know, even if you have not tapped into that yet, you might be somebody that hasn't truly tapped into that, but you know that there's something on the inside of you. You know that there's some greatness on the inside of you. And what you have to realize about certain things that you have gone through in your life, let me explain something to you. Certain things, the way that you have been beat up, beat down, certain things that you have gone through, this is what you have to realize. And when you realize this, I'm telling you, it's going to change so much in your life. A lot of things that you've gone through, a lot of things that you faced, those things weren't even for you. Those things weren't even for you. Yes, you had to go through it. You had to endure those things. You had to face it. You had to, be the person in that position to face those things. but it wasn't even for you. You know how we'll say, like, how you'll declare and you'll decree, or you know it in your heart, like, I am the generational curse breaker. I know that I'm meant to break the curse off of my generation, off of my bloodline. I know that I'm the leader. Like, it's me, God. I know that it's something in me to be this person on the front line for my family, for my friends, for my generation. I know that. You know how we'll speak that, just like stuff like that, like these things that you've gone through. It wasn't even for you. It was for your children. It was for your grandchildren. It was certain things that you had to go through, that you had to face. It was certain things that it needed to happen so that it could be a lesson, so that it could be a lesson for your children, for your grandchildren. So the things that you face, you don't even have to worry about them ever facing those things. They don't have to go through the things that you went through. They don't have to. They can see something different. They can have a different life. So it was good for you to go through certain things. It was good for you to face these so that you can save your bloodline, so that you can save your children. That's why you should never be afraid. Never be afraid of your story. Never be afraid of or ashamed of your testimony, because in what you've gone through, it wasn't even for you. It was for you to save somebody else's life. What if your testimony, because this is what you have to understand, transparency is freedom. And telling your story has power. Your story can save lives. Your testimony, there is something about your testimony, there is something about your story that can be used to help somebody else, that could be used to save somebody else. What if something that you've gone through in your life, that you have overcome, that you've gone through, that you never thought that you was going to make it through, what if it's somebody else that's going through that? What if whatever that person is going through is they ready to jump off the ledge, and it is your story? It's the power of your story. It's the power of your testimony that can save that person. This is why you never be ashamed. Never be ashamed of where you've come from. Never be afraid to tell your story. Don't let the devil steal your power, steal your story, steal your joy, because it might not even be meant for you. Certain environments, the ways in which you grew up, these things that happen in your past. Look at your children. Look around at your children. Look around if you have children. Look around at your children and look and see how they never have to go through those things. You might have grown up in poverty. You might have had a grown up in poverty and all these things, and being in gangs and all type of stuff. You better not ever walk around and being ashamed of that, because you know what? It was the fact that you went through that. It was the fact that you lived like that for you to be able to say, you know what? My kids aren't going to live like that. My grandchildren aren't going to live like that. I had to learn those lessons so that I can teach them, so that they can learn from, so that they can be better, so that they can be better for our bloodline, for generations to come, so that they can be leaders. Maybe I had to be a follower. Maybe I'm not going to be ashamed of saying that I was a follower. Maybe I had to follow. Maybe I had to fall on my face. Maybe I had to go through these certain things. But whatever I went through, whatever you went through, is for somebody else. It's for somebody. It's not even it's a bigger picture. You don't even realize that sometimes it's a bigger picture. It's not even about you. It's not even about you. It's about God using you for a bigger purpose, for something greater. There's something about your story. There's something about your testimony, and trust and believe that God used it for good. He has used everything in your life for good. Nothing wasted, nothing taken away. Nothing. There's nothing wasted. There's nothing wasted about in your story, in the situations, the circumstances that you have gone through. And then just think about the lessons, the strength. It's certain things that you've gone through that other people have never. Nobody can say. Nobody can step to these situations in your life. Nobody could face these things the way that you have faced them, the way that you have overcome them. Nobody. There's people in here that will kill themselves, y'all. They will kill themselves based off of the same things that you've gone through. The same things that was supposed to take you out, that was supposed to kill you, that would kill somebody else, that would take somebody else out. But you overcame it. You overcame it. And not only did you overcome it, but God made good of it. God did something with it. He made good of whatever it is that he had to take you through, whatever it is that you overcame, because it's the reason why you overcame it, so he can use it for his glory, so he can use it for something better. Now y'all got me preaching. Let me get up off this video. I love y'all. I hope that this encourages you. I hope that this lifts you up. I hope that this gives you everything that you need for the rest of this week. I hope this message inspires you. I hope it impacts your life. I love you guys. I will see you in the next video.